Now I might look a little scruffy today because my partner in crime has decided that she wanted to finally see what it looked like if all of my hair on my face grew out, and she hasn't let me shave for the past week. Alright, so after I got the garlic shelled, then I am going to chop it up into little pieces. Now garlic is interesting because depending on what you're trying to make, you can cut the garlic in different ways. If you're doing a stir fry, you want to probably cut it up into little pieces, because then it'll cook faster. So you put it in like right after the onions, and the more surface area you have displayed, then the more of the essential oils that make the garlic so delicious are going to get out. If you want to have a real savory chunk of garlic, you could just smash it and then cook it like that. But since we want to get as much of the garlic flavor out of the garlic as we can into the rest of the food for this pot roast, we're going to actually mince it up. After this, we're going to get a small bowl. Take the garlic, put it in the bowl, then the next step is take some salt. If you had kosher salt, that would be better, but we just have regular salt. So a decent amount of salt, because the salt's going to bring out more of the oil, more of the flavor. Then I need to get a spoon, and we're just going to smash the salt a little bit with the garlic, making a little mash again to start. And the second main ingredient of this is rosemary. So actually, once again, using fresh rosemary would be better, but don't have fresh rosemary right now, so we do what we can. So we've got some rosemary from a box or from a jar, and just put some of that in there, however much you feel you want. Now, cooking is not like baking. Baking, you need to be very precise in the amounts of things that you put in. Otherwise, you know, your bread will explode, or your bread won't do anything, or your donuts will taste like crap. Cooking, it's all your own taste, your own flavor, your own style. So if we mash that together a little bit, just trying to get that a little bit combined. Obviously, the more you do it, the more combined it will be. You know, this is a risk-driven process. Do what you can. And then the last thing is take a little bit of EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, and drizzle it in there like that. Now you want to have enough to basically emulsify and absorb all the flavors from the stuff. So we're going to need a little bit more. Stir it up so it's all combined. That looks pretty good, so we're going to set that aside and let it combine for now. Alright. We're going to need the EVO later, so we put that over there. Next thing is your roast meats. Huh? The drawer? Oh. It's hidden in the drawer. You can talk, it's okay. A little bit extra garlic in there. Hopefully sometime we'll be able to videotape you cooking something as well. Alright, so I've just got a regular piece of roast meat. Gonna open it up. Try not to get too much of the nasty stuff on your wooden cutting board, because it's not good for it. It will soak in. Better to use plastic if you're actually going to be cutting meat. Now, I'm not sure if this one doesn't have very much because we wanted like a lean piece of meat. But if you want to get some really juicy flavors, you should get a piece that has a nice layer of fat on the bottom. So, whatever. That's the way it goes. So then we're going to turn on our pot that we're going to be cooking all of this in to high, because what we're going to do is actually brown the outside of the meat. So it gets nice and crispy on the outside, and then all the juices when we cook it later will stay inside and be delicious. So we're just going to, basic seasoning here, salt, and fresh cracked pepper. Get it all over. Give it a quick little rub. Okay. Flip it over. Do the same thing on the other side. Now this is another time where you can add more salt, more pepper, less pepper, depending on what your tastes are, or even other spices. If you want to try something new, it'll usually turn out just fine. Okay, now that's nice and seasoned. We're heating up our pot. Pot looks pretty hot. Now we just turn on the fan just in case we get some smoking. Just take some olive oil. Put a little bit of olive oil in there. The pot's nice and hot. A little too hot. Olive oil should not be smoking. But that happens. We have a gas stove, which is nice. Then you want to make sure the oil is decently covered the bottom of the pan. Put in your roast. Now you're going to try to sear the bottom so it gets nice and crispy. There it is. Dun 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 dun.